A silent crisis in America. Across the heartland of America, something quiet but devastating is happening. Small towns, once the backbone of the nation, are vanishing. Every year, populations shrink. Schools close. Businesses shutter. And what's left behind feels more like a ghost town than a community. This isn't just about economics. It's about identity. About the slow fading of a way of life that once defined the American dream. The question is, why? Why are so many small towns in the United States dying? What happened to the neighborhoods where generations grew up, where families built their futures? The truth is more complicated than most headlines suggest. It's not just about jobs, or young people leaving, or the allure of big cities. It's about all of that and more. This is the untold story of small-town America, and what we risk losing if we don't pay attention. The rise, when small towns were the American dream. There was a time when small towns were the symbol of success in America. Post-World War II, they exploded with life. Manufacturing boomed. Agriculture was strong. Local shops lined the streets and everyone knew their neighbors. In places like Ohio, Kansas, and the Dakotas, people didn't need skyscrapers or subways to find opportunity. It was right there in the fields, the mills, the diners, and the corner stores. Farms passed down through generations provided stability. Small factories gave jobs to thousands. Churches and community centers were the heartbeat of town life. This was Main Street, USA, not just a place, but a promise. You didn't have to leave your hometown to succeed. You could build a life right where you were born. That was the American dream, rooted in something real, something shared. But dreams don't last forever. And by the time the 1980s rolled in, the cracks were already starting to show. The fall. Why small towns started to shrink. The downfall didn't happen overnight. But once it began, it spread like wildfire. First came the factories shutting down jobs outsourced overseas or lost to automation. Manufacturing towns in the Midwest and South were hit the hardest. One plant closing meant hundreds out of work, and often the death of a whole town's economy. Then came the farms. With the rise of industrial agriculture, small family farms couldn't compete. Mega corporations took over, and local growers were pushed out or buried in debt. Without jobs, young people started to leave. They chased opportunity in big cities, college, careers, a new kind of life. And they didn't come back. What followed was a slow, painful hollowing out. Schools lost students. Hospitals couldn't stay open. Grocery stores and gas stations shut their doors for good. What once felt like a close-knit community began to feel empty. And while city skylines kept growing, small towns kept shrinking not just in size, but in spirit. This wasn't just economic decline. It was a cultural collapse. Why people are still leaving. For many small towns, the damage was already done by the time the 2000s arrived. But the exodus didn't stop, it accelerated. Why? Because what's left behind often can't compete with what lies ahead. Most young people in small towns grow up with one plan: get out. And not because they don't love where they are from, but because opportunities just don't exist anymore. Big cities offer more jobs, better schools, faster internet, and a promise of something more. Whether it's careers in tech, healthcare, education, or entertainment, the pathways are there and rural communities just can't keep up. And it's not just the youth. Families are relocating for healthcare access, better wages, or even just grocery stores with fresh food. The things that once defined a good life in small-town America, safety, community, simplicity, are being replaced by harsh realities: economic struggle, aging populations, and fewer public services. In some places, even calling 911 means waiting for help to come from a town miles away. This isn't just migration, it's survival. Is there hope for small towns? And yet, not all hope is lost. Some small towns are fighting back and adapting. Remote work has created new possibilities. People burned out from city life are moving back to quieter places, bringing income and innovation with them. Local governments and nonprofits are stepping in too, offering grants to small businesses, improving infrastructure, and investing in high-speed internet. Some towns are turning to tourism, art, or sustainable farming to spark renewal. It's not easy. Reviving a town isn't just about money, it's about rebuilding pride, purpose, and people. But there are success stories. And maybe, just maybe, the story of small-town America isn't over yet. Rebuilding from the ground up. Reviving a small town isn't just about bringing in jobs or reopening stores. It's about restoring a sense of community. Some places have started doing just that. They're investing in what made small-town life special to begin with: connection, self-reliance, and pride of place. In states like Nebraska and Vermont, young families are being encouraged to move in through housing incentives and remote work support. Abandoned buildings are being turned into co-working spaces. Old factories are becoming craft breweries or maker labs. Even something as simple as a new coffee shop can become a symbol of hope. The internet, once a barrier, is becoming a bridge. High-speed broadband is allowing rural residents to work tech jobs from their front porches and compete in a global economy without leaving home. It's not a quick fix, and not every town will make it. But those that do are proving something important. You don't need to be big to survive. You just need to matter to the people who call it home. The future of small-town America. America's story was built on small towns, and their future is far from written. Yes, many have faded. Some may never return. But others are being reborn in new, unexpected ways. What we do next as a society, as communities, even as viewers, will shape what kind of country we live in tomorrow. Will we let these places disappear quietly? Or will we find new ways to help them thrive? Because this isn't just about population stats or abandoned buildings. It's about people, identity, and whether or not the American dream still has room for small towns. If you found this story important, share it. Comment below if your hometown is one of the many struggling or surviving. And don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories from urban lore.